Mom whose sole daughter, sick so her eyes and skin could be cut out and used for medicine, gets life in. What the fuck?
I know.
Where did you get this?
I
This is Raquel Kelly Smith and her boyfriend Joaquin Appelis. What? And their friend Steveno Van Ryn were all handed life sentences more than a year after the mysterious disappearance of Joshin Smith from outside her home near Cape Town. This is in South Africa.
yes.
When Joshin first disappeared, her mother was a figure of sympathy, and the picture of the girl's striking green eyes, pigtails, and broad smile were shared across the country.
Oh
She's
my
a pretty
God.
little girl. Okay, I get it.
And
Smith showed no emotion as her sentence was handed down, bringing to an end the 8-week trial that had been moved through a local stadium so horrified members of the community could bear witness. She admitted to selling her daughter to a witch doctor or sangoma for 20,000 rand, about $1,100, and said the girl was desired for her eyes and skin. The trio are believed to have sold the little girl to the quote healer, make that witch doctor, to fund their drug addictions. Mom of three Smith was described as manipulative and had shown no indication, or so she's a sociopath.
yes.
Over their daughter's disappearance. All three were sentenced to concurrent 10-year imprisonment for kidnapping. I'm also ordering entry of your names to the child protection register. You fucking think?
I'm sorry, but if you're gonna do some shit like that, you need a date with the axe.
Why are there witch doctors in 2025?
Well, this is South Africa. I mean, that's a big thing in Africa.
They're just like us. I'm so tired of hearing that.
I know.
They're not. They have witch doctors and they carve little girls up.
Yes,
okay. I'm angry. This one pissed me off.
I had a guy when I was in the 414 Civil Affairs, and he would go on these.
I heard horror shit from Africa.
Yeah, he would go on these trips to Africa to basically push the Christian religion. And he would tell me all these stories about these witch doctors. And I remember, like, can you get me a cell phone number to witch doctors so I can put a curse on somebody? And he'd be like, I certainly will not do that, Sergeant. And I used to fuck with them merciless.
Wow. kind of a dick move, but
well, and his nickname was God Boy because he used to be a chaplain assistant.
Okay.
So that really, that really messed with them. Now I just threw this story in here because, granted, it didn't happen in the Western world, but South Africa at one time was very close to being on par with the Western civilizations.
No. Stop it. It was on par. It was a Dutch society. South Africa was Dutch and English. And in 1992, the color revolution there happened. Mandela got put into power with his wife, Winnie, who liked to put tires around people's necks and light them on fire. It's called necklacing. The cartels here in Mexico picked up on that, and now they like to necklace people. But the slaughter of South African farmers and everything is extremely well documented.
Yes.
And that culture was wiped out. It was a full-blown Western nation, as was Rhodesia, which was snuffed out in 1976 by yet another color revolution. So this has been going on for 50 years. We just refuse to acknowledge it.
And listen, if you think that shit like that will never happen here.
It's happening right now in Los Angeles.
Yes. But the thing is, once the color of law slips and people start packing up by race, you're going to see more shit like this.
Yeah. Yep.
And listen, I hate to be that guy, but I'm just telling you the way it works.
I was never that guy, but I'm watching it in real time.
Yes.
I'm watching it in real time. And if you think it's all about just white or whatever, it's not. The same exact thing is going on in Japan right now. They're being invaded by Kurds who are being put in there by the WEF and the American State Department.
Yep.
And Ireland is being overrun with Africans. The Roman Empire couldn't take Ireland 2,000 years ago. But now it's being overrun by corporate NGOs pumping Africans into Ireland.
I got you.
And
all right.
It's horrific.
Down a rabbit hole. This is a Thursday show.
Sorry. It is a Thursday show. Sorry. You set me off. You put a dead little girl on the screen.
And that is in front of you on a Thursday. That
is my ass button, dude. That is my ass button. I have a serious case of the ass for hurting little girls. I will fuck you up.
Yep. And
Okay.
here's the next one.
Middle school principal admits to raping child under 16 for years. Wait, if the child is already currently under 16, how long has she been at this?
I don't know. I believe it's 5 or 6 years.
Wilmington, Delaware. Tasha Purnell, a former middle school principal in Delaware, pled guilty on Monday to 2 counts of third-degree rape and 1 count of continuous sexual abuse of a child. The charges were brought in the Superior Court of Delaware following the investigation by Delaware State Police. Attorney General Kathy Jennings commented on the case, stating the sexual abuse of a child in any case is heinous. I will end you.
Yes.
When that abuse comes from an adult, much less a person in position of trust, such as a principal or teacher whose entire purpose is to guide and protect children, it is absolutely unthinkable. The defendant will be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. Millstone Rope Lake. I am truly grateful to our prosecutors and the Delaware police for their excellent work. Purnell, 44, was a teacher at Stanton Middle School when she repeatedly sexually assaulted the victim between 2010 and 2014. Holy Christ, this was 11 years ago. She later served as a principal from 2020 until her suspension and termination in September of 2024. Authorities do not believe there are additional victims associated with this case. In a plea deal, the prosecutors agreed to drop 16 additional felony sexual crimes that would recommend a maximum sentence of 8 years in prison, despite the charges carrying a potential sentence of 6 to 75 years. Why are you being lenient on molesters of children? I think
because they're women.
Pop, this is a fucking bucket of hot buttons, man.
I know.
This is all of the things that piss me off.
But here's the thing: is these women are getting away with this, and they're getting a slap on the wrist.
This is why I need the happy helmet. This is why I need the happy helmet.
Okay.
This is why I need the happy helmet. I'll be okay. Jesus God. Holy cow.
Is this insane or what?
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulas.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the meat caser box.